The local drugstore that we rely on today wasn't available to those who lived on the Indiana frontier. A knowledge of medicinal plants and their use could sometimes prove more useful than some of those store-bought quackeries. In this episode, Laura Willyard discusses the medicinal uses of goose grease, camphor, and homemade liniments.
Today I'm going to be combining a couple ingredients that historically have had many uses. But first, let's look back at a previous episode.
In a cooking episode, we roasted a Christmas goose. It left us with a delicious meal and a lot of grease. We used that grease to make a medicinal.
You just need a very little bit. A little bit goes a long way. And then you would just rub it into the affected joint or sore muscles. And as you can see, it goes on just like any other oil. It has a very smooth, soft feel. Pleasant smell too. I smell a bit like the Christmas goose. One ingredient that can be added to the goose fat is camphor. Camphor is an ancient medicinal that's been around for centuries. Let's take a look and see where camphor comes from.
Camphor is found in the wood and bark of the camphor laurel, a large evergreen tree found in East Asia. The wood and bark are roasted and the vapor condensed in a distillation process. It would have been available in a crystallized form or sometimes as an oil from an apothecary or a doctor. Several modern-day topical remedies are made with a very low percent of camphor. Camphor can be dangerous to young children and should be kept out of their reach.
The easiest of the camphor recipes we found is for a camphorated spirits. It was used as a liniment. Their ingredients are camphor, which is in a crystal form, and it has a very distinct smell, and spirits of alcohol. I'm going to pulverize the camphor crystals, and it's best to just use a small amount at a time. So I put a spoonful in. They're very easy to pulverize. They look a bit like salt crystals, but they break up much easier. I believe this has been worked enough and it's ready to combine with the spirits. So I've added 2 ounces of camphor. Add 4 ounces of spirits. Since this bottle holds about 4 ounces, I'm just going to fill the bottle up to its shoulders. Give it a shake. The camphor will dissolve into the spirits of alcohol, and we're going to apply it to a cloth. It was thought that this would provide relief for aching muscles, strains, and cramping muscles, even asthma. Another version is from 1849 called Camphorated liniment. It is made with sweet oil, which is olive oil, and camphor. And this is the camphor once it's been pulverized, and I'm going to add it to the galley pot. Next, I'm going to add the sweet oil. Quick stir. And I'm going to place it on the trivet by the fire. It only takes a few minutes for the camphor to dissolve into the sweet oil. After remove it from the fire, you want to make sure that it's cool enough to touch. You apply a small amount to the affected area, the sore muscles or joint. I really like the way this goes on. The oil base is smoother and it's softer and has less of a camphorated smell. This is my favorite recipe. This 1849 recipe for soap liniment contains spirits of alcohol, camphor, rosemary oil, and Castile soap that's made with olive oil. I'm going to begin by grating the Castile soap. I need to grate 1/4 cup of the soap. Add this soap to the galley pot. 2 ounces of crushed camphor. 1/2 teaspoon of rosemary oil. And 1½ cups of spirits of alcohol. Give it a stir. It'll take a moment for the soap to dissolve into the alcohol. It has a very refreshing smell. I can smell the rosemary and the camphor. I'm going to put a little bit on. It has a very cool feeling as I guess the alcohol is evaporating, and so like silky smooth. I think it must be the soap. It has a very pleasant feel. I may have to revise my opinion. I think this one is my favorite. These simple recipes hopefully kept our ancestors free from the daily aches and pains that we all suffer even today.